Hello, this is Tariano. Today we are here at Nikko Toshogu Shrine. Let's start the Nikko Toshogu section. Let's take a look at a little bit of an unexpected aspect. Although Nikko Toshogu is known for its splendor, it also has a really simple building. After passing through the stone torii gate and entering Toshogu through the front gate, you will see the Shinkyusha, divine stable. It is said that the stables were built by Tokugawa Iemitsu, the third shogun, to tie up the sacred horses. The horses ridden by Tokugawa Ieyasu, the deity of Toshogu Shrine. It is the only building within the Toshogu precincts made of shiraki and glazed wood, and is the only large-scale Shinto shrine stable building in existence. Unfortunately, the inside of the stables couldn't be seen due to the corona disaster. Note that since 1977, 4 generations of white sacred horses have actually been donated by the New Zealand government. And because monkeys were said to prevent horses from getting sick at that time, 16 monkey gods are carved on the frames of the gate to pray for peace. This series of carvings is also said to represent the life of a person. It starts with a father and a son, a monkey, then childhood, then independence, then youth, then marriage, and the two of them going through the rough patches of life together. One of the most famous is the three monkeys. The three monkey represents childhood. When we are small, we are easily influenced by the people around us. So this sculpture is a reminder not to see or hear evil, not to say bad words, and to give only good things. Please look at all the sculptures when you visit and try to imagine their stories. Let's start with the story of Toshogu Shrine and its main attractions. Nikko Toshogu was built in 1617 during the Edo period by Hidetada Tokugawa, the second shogun, as a shrine dedicated to Ieyasu Tokugawa, the Tokugawa Iemitsu, the third shogun, who built it in splendor. Iemitsu, who had great respect for Tokugawa Ieyasu, made glittering decorations to further make the prestige of Tokugawa Ieyasu and the Shogun family known. For example, here are 3 Shinto shrines. The colors are also gorgeous, painted red, different from the previous Shinkyusha. And here is another interesting highlight. There is a painting of an elephant in the upper shrine treasury, written by Kano Tanyu, the greatest painter of the Edo period at that time. You'll think that since he wrote such a wonderful painting, he must have written a wonderful painting of an elephant, right? No. Look here. The elephant on the right side has crescent-shaped eyes and metal flittering on its ears. The elephant on the left has a tail with 3 tails and fur like a mammoth. Actually, he had never seen an actual elephant, and Kano Tanyu drew it from his imagination. That's interesting. And one of the 3 major power spots of Nikko Toshogu is in front of this torii gate. This area is said to be the beginning of the Hokushin Road. Hokushin Road means the path towards the North Star. In the Onmyo-do, the North Star is the center of the universe, and since it does not move, it is the supreme deity of the heavens itself. It is built so that the North Star is on the line connecting the Yomeimon gate and the torii in front of it. It was also designed so that if you go directly south of the line connecting the two, you will arrive at Edo. And so, the Yomeimon gate is decorated with dragons, lions, and a number of Chinese historical monarchs. But it is also decorated with a number of other historical monarchs. It is supposed to present ideal government, honoring the peace brought by Tokugawa Ieyasu. And this Yomeimon gate, it is made of 240,000 pieces of gold leaf. The famous Kinkakuji temple in Kyoto also uses 200,000 sheets of gold leaf. So you can see how extravagant and luxurious Nikko Toshogu is. Yomeimon gate, also known as a gate of daily life, is said to be a gate that one can see all day and never get tired of it. The back side of the gate is also very beautiful carved. On the back side, there's actually a fine work called a reverse column. Look closely here. Heart-right shape is the original shape, but in the pillar on the left, it is reversed. Of the 12 columns that support the gate, only this one has these upside-down crowns. This is because they dared to make it upside down because they thought that when it was perfect or complete, it would collapse. That's deep. This is why the Yomemon Gate is said to be incomplete. Please take a good look at it when you visit. We are still far from the tomb where Tokugawa Ieyasu is said to be buried, so let's hurry a little further. Karamon Gate and the main shrine can be seen on the left. In the Edo period, only those of high rank who could have an audience with the Shogun were allowed to enter the main shrine through the Karamon Gate. Let us proceed thankful to the present age of no status. Let us introduce you to Sleeping Cat. This cat guards a path leading to the grave of Tokugawa Ieyasu. It is said that this cat was made by Hidari Jingoro, who was a legendary carpenter at that time. Actually, Hidari often appears in Rakugo, but it is not known if he actually existed or not. If he did exist, he was born in Akashi, Hyogo Prefecture, and is said to have made over 100 sculptures all over Japan until his death in 1651. There are many theories, but the leading theory is that he was modeled after a man named Kishigami Jingoro Hidari Yoshinobu. At the age of 16, he built the world's only existing wooden 13-story pagoda and other structures in Tonomine, Sakurai City in our prefecture, to great acclaim. There is no one on the right, therefore Jingoro is left, so you must call yourself left. Hidari means left, and so he started to use the name Hidari. This statue of a sleeping cat looks like it is about to start moving. It is said that the arms of the artist were so wonderful. After passing the sleeping cat and passing through the Sakashitamon Gate, there is an approach leading to the Okumiya, the tomb of Ieyasu Tokugawa. After 207 stone steps, you will reach the entrance to the Okumiya, the inner shrine. Now this is how the place is normally seen. The shrine was opened to the public on the occasion of the 350th anniversary of Toshogu in 1965 and was closed to the public before that. It is such a sacred place. Next to the graveyard, there is a cedar tree called Kanosugi, which has been here since before the graves were built. It is said that it is a cedar tree that makes wishes come true. Please visit here when you come to the cemetery. Then why is Ieyasu cemetery located in this run, far from Edo? Actually, Ieyasu Tokugawa's cemetery was not built here immediately after his death. When Ieyasu died, he left a will. If we rewrite the contents in modern language, it looks like this. Bury my body at Mount Kuno in Suruga, and hold a funeral service at Zojoji Temple in Edo, and then put my Buddhist mortuary tablet in Taijuji Temple in Mikawa. And after the first anniversary of my death, build a small temple on Nikko mountain in Shimotsuke and offer an invocation. Let it be the guardian deity of the 8th province of Kanhanshu, he says. In accordance with this will, his body is first buried at Mount Kuno in Shizuoka. The funeral service is held at Zojoji Temple in Edo, which was a family temple of the Tokugawa family. The Buddhist mortuary tablet are placed at Taijuji Temple in Ieyasu's hometown of Mikawa. Then we come to Nikko. Let's look back again. Build a small temple on Nikko mountain in Shimotsuke and offer an invocation. And I will be the guardian god of the 8 provinces of Kanhanshu, he said. Kanhanshu is the old name for the Kanto region at that time, the 8th country. In other words, one of the reasons why cemeteries in Nikko is that Ieyasu told him to set up his cemetery in Nikko. However, neither Mount Kuno, where Ieyasu was buried, nor the inner shrine in Nikko have ever been excavated, so the location of Ieyasu's body is still a mystery. The current prevailing theory is that Ieyasu's body is still at Kuno-san, Mount Kuno, and that only his spirit as a god was moved to Nikko. Nevertheless, it could be said that the spirit of Tokugawa Ieyasu is in Nikko, protecting Kanhanshu. I mentioned earlier that Hokushin Pass utilized Onmyodo. It seems that Ieyasu was also thinking of utilizing the power of Nikko, because Nikko was the highest authority religious area in Kanto at that time. By having his spirit enshrined as a god in a place that was famous for being such a divine place, it is said that he was trying to protect Edo and the Tokugawa family from the north. Incidentally, it is also related to Nikko and Aizu, which had a very deep relationship with the Tokugawa family. If you are interested in the history of Aizu, please watch another video that explains it in detail. Now, Nikko Toshogu is famous as a World Heritage Site, but Toshogu is not the only World Heritage Site on the list. When it was registered as a World Heritage Site in 1999, it was registered as one of the shrines and temples of Nikko. The shrines and temples of Nikko include the Futara-san Shrine, located within Mount Nikko, and the entrance to the shrine is the Shinkyo Bridge, which is one of the three most unusual bridges in Japan. As the grave of Tokugawa Iemitsu, the third shogun of the Edo shogunate, the Taiyuin, which was named after Emperor Gokoumyo, and which was named after the Chinese classic Taiyu, meaning the Great Way, and Rinnoji Temple, which is a temple of the Tendai sect and is said to have been built in the Nara period. A total of 103 buildings, 9 national treasures, and 94 important cultural properties and ruins surrounding the buildings were recognized. So why were Nikko Toshogu and other buildings recognized as World Heritage Sites? The clue was in Nikko's history. The key is Futara-san Shrine, located right next to Toshogu. The approach from Toshogu to Futara-san Shrine is famous as a power spot. Futara-san Shrine was established when the mountain of Nikko were opened by Shodo Shonin in the Nara period. The shrine was established when the mountain of Nikko were opened to the public as a sacred place of mountain worship, with the shrine dedicated to the great goddess Futara-san. There are numerous mountains in Nikko called the Nikko Mountain Range. Among them, Nantai-san, Mount Nantai, and Nyoho-san, Mount Nyoho were worshipped as sacred places. Each is said to receive masculine, powerful energy and feminine, soft and gentle energy. Rinnoji Temple had jurisdiction over these mountains and the Futara-san Shrine. In the Kamakura period, the temple was worshipped by Minamoto no Yoritomo and by Hojo Shogun, who ruled Odawara and was famous as one of the largest sacred sites in the Kanto region. Therefore, until the construction of Toshogu Shrine in the Edo period, Nikko Mountain was visited by many mountain priests who practices asceticism. This ancient belief, combined with the structures building during the Edo period, led to Nikko being registered as a World Heritage Site. There are 3 points that were valued in the World Heritage list. The Nikko shrines and the temples as a reflection of architectural and artistic genius. The ingenuity and creativity of its architects and decorators are revealed in an outstanding and distinguished manner. The Nikko shrines and temples, together with their environment, are an outstanding example of a traditional Japanese religious center associated with the Shinto perception of the relationship of man with nature. This is exactly what Nikko represents today. Futara-san Shrine is an interest shrine for the general public to visit. There are spots all over the shrine that bring good luck and good fortune, so please come and see for yourself. The best gourmet food in Nikko is yuba. The yuba of Kyoto is also famous, is the one that is pulled up with a single layer of the film that appears on the surface of the soy milk, while the yuba of Nikko is round and voluminous one that is folded in 2 and pulled up in 2 layers. How was my video? If you visit Nikko, you can enjoy sightseeing in Nikko more if you also learn more about its deep history. Thank you again for watching this video. If you found this video at all useful, I would appreciate it if you could support me by clicking the high rating button. I will continue to bring you videos focusing on history. If you're interested, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button.
Brought to you by Tariano.